What's up, everybody? My name is Astonishing Pix, and welcome to another review. And today we are reviewing the Odious figure from Unparalleled Universe, aka Wade. So, first things I want to say is that congrats to Wade and his family for getting this guy out there. And it's been crazy to see the whole process behind the making of this guy and the details he's been providing us leading up to the release of Odious. So yeah, huge congrats to Wade and his family. And one thing also to note is that I did change my setup here. So if it looks different, it's because my tripod is broken, so I have to have this top-down setup kind of look. But yeah, anyways, before we take a closer look at this guy, let's look at the packaging. So here we have the packaging. As you can see, it is a nice vibrant red and black flannel type color with an awesome picture of Odious in the front. As you can see, it is amazing. I kind of forget who did the artwork, so forgive me. But in the back here, there's a little description here if you guys want to pause it and read about Odious. But yeah, here we have Odious, the artwork on the sides here and the bottom, the name, and of course the Unparalleled Universe and the company that helped him make the figure. And yeah, inside the packaging is a pretty good look at some other artwork. As you can see, here is like the setup that he comes with. And yeah, I just do love that he comes with like a background art and everything. So it is very impressive to see this level of detail, and I honestly do want to keep this box around because of how I feel like there's a lot of thought put into this box. So here we have a closer look at Odious. As you can see, it is very, honestly to me, it feels very surreal to have this guy in hand. Of course, the detail on this guy is awesome, and it's kind of weird having him in hand because all this time we've been seeing him through the screen. So once we have him in hand, it kind of feels weird. But as you can see, he does come with a lot of detail. He comes with this trench coat and of course the flannel shirt with the hoodie. And honestly, it looks pretty cool. I mean, the pants are a little bit baggy, but I feel like that's because of the articulation. Wade has stated before that he has been focusing more on articulation rather than the design or details. I'm not really sure, but he did place articulation as a heavy focus. That's what I know. But of course, the head sculpt itself is pretty good, and the paintwork is awesome. So there is no points that are being down for that. So to show you guys the sculpt and details, I'm going to have to remove his trench coat, and of course he does have his flannel hoodie. Right now it is sleeveless because it would limit articulation if he had sleeves on, both the trench coat and the hoodie. So yeah, he does have a Velcro piece here to have this on and off. So if you want to remove that, you can. For the purposes of this video, to show you guys the sculpt, I'm going to have to remove it. And of course, you can see that he does have a lot of sculpt in the figure. There is a lot of great paint work as well. You can see all the joints here. So it is very articulation focused that he did place on it. And of course, it does move well. So honestly, this is a good base for any other customs if you guys want to use that. And yeah, I'm not going to remove his pants just to keep his decency there. So yeah, I mean, the sculpt is there and it looks pretty good. Alright, so for the purposes of this segment, I'm going to have Odious looking like this for the rest of the review. But yeah, I'm going to be covering his articulation so you guys can have a better look at what his joints look like. So you can move his head up about that far, down, not a lot. He can move side to side, and of course he can pivot, but I forgot to show that. He can move his arm all the way up, and he does have pretty good bicep swivel, as you can see. He also has a pretty good butterfly joint right here, so you can move about that far out for both. He does have pretty good double jointed elbows, as you can see. They reach past 90 degrees, so you have no problem there. And he does have pretty good wrist articulation as well. And for his torso, of course, he does have a pretty good diaphragm joint. He can move down about that far and back pretty far. As you can see, there is a huge gap here that will allow him to give him that articulation. Of course, he has a lower waist joint right here, so when combined with his diaphragm joint, he can move like Spider-Man. Of course, he has pretty far range, so yeah. I mean, most of this is going to be covered either way, so it shouldn't really be a bother, to be honest. As far as his hips goes, he can go about that far up, but it's probably limited due to the cloth goods. He can move his joints about that far down for his knees, and of course, he does have thigh swivel here, so you won't have problem getting him into any poses. And of course, he has pretty good ankle joints here. He can move down about that far. He also has pretty good toe joints, and of course, pretty good ankle rockers. Of course, Odious would not be complete without his complete set of accessories. As you can see, he's pretty much packed with a lot of sets of hands, and of course heads, and of course his weapon right there. So as you can see, he does come with again 2 pairs of wide open hands, claw grabbing hands, another grabbing hands. He also does have a wider hands, I guess, for like pushing or something. He does have fists, grabbing hands, and of course he does have pointing hands, along with his club or scepter. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but he does come with that, along with 4 other pairs of head. So taking a closer look at that, this first head honestly looks a little bit like he's kind of like shocked or surprised. So again, all the paint in these guys is amazing. As you can see, it looks pretty good. I love the expressions that it does come with. It gives you a lot to work with. And of course, there is this one that kind of makes you wonder, like he's kind of questioning things, like, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, another great one. Here, I would say that is his standard neutral looking face. So this is what you will see in, him just being, neutral. So yeah. And of course, he does come with a angry, kind of annoyed looking face. So that looks great, as always. So yeah, I mean, he also again does come with this other head over here that's on the package. So it is like a mad type of face, like a raging face. So that looks great again as well. All of these head sculpts are pretty good. So a lot of great options here when it comes to that. And of course, here is a closer look at his scepter, or I guess his club. I don't know what it is, but yeah, the paint on this guy is like a metallic silver, so it looks pretty good. One thing that I do kind of want to know is like, is the skull like the same species as him? Like, is it the skull of a previous Odious, or it's the skull like something else? That's what I kind of want to know. So if Wade could answer me on that, please let me know. Of course, what kind of a review would it be without a size comparison? So here we have Odious next to a G.I. Joe classified alligator, CT Toys symbiote Spider-Man, the Jada Toys Chun-Li, and a Black Series Stormtrooper with a Marvel Legends Moon Knight, and of course the Lim Toys Leon Kennedy. And of course, here we have him next to the Marvel Legends Cap and Medicom Mafex Spider-Man. So overall, I think that this guy is pretty good. And again, the paint is there, and then the articulation is there too. The sculpt is there, even though mostly everything is covered up by soft goods is there. Also, the soft goods is pretty high quality as well. So big credit to Wade and the factory behind it and everything. So it turned out really good. The only issue I have is the head swapping. It is kind of a chore, but to be fair, they did add like a little warning sign saying that you might want to heat up the head. But even with that, it's still kind of a chore to do. So I hope they make that easier next time around. But yeah, overall, if I had to give this guy a rating, I'd give him like an easy 9 out of 10. The only issue that I had with him was the head swapping. But other than that, this guy is packed with accessories and everything. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys got this guy, and if you still haven't had it, please check out the store that Wade has, or Big Bag Toy Store. Either of those two work fine. They are shipping out right now, so you should get it within the next week or so. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and make sure to check out my other platforms like TikTok and Instagram to catch up on some behind the scenes and some toy pics. But yeah, guys, peace.